So today we discussed an open source DAO platforms that use AI, discussed the problem that open source DAO platforms that use AI are not being integrated with each other. And our first solution statement was to create community standards on how to introduce interoperable AI features. We started ideating on outputs and outcomes, where we definitely needed some kind of a standard to be started off, and a lot of examples and templates that different people could use, and we could start building from, like in examples, how to collaborate and what are the expectations, how to integrate tools with selected platforms, how the information should be visualized, and how to manage the data. And these will be all the workshops where all this kind of guidelines will be created together with the community, but then leveraged and reused appropriately. And of course, then I'll look into events to find people to actually participate in these kinds of discussions of what kind of tools we need and where can we find more of these amazing teams who are already building but have no awareness what's happening in here. And so different both outreach and way to let them come inside the ecosystem. And finally, the last discussion was the DAO structure, to give some kind of structures to vote and give a bit of a reputational governance mechanism to make decisions and prioritize the requirements, which directions we should go to. Then we described or try to write down and the success. What would the success for this project? It may have been changed, but the start was multiple open source platforms and tools are integrated with each other. So if we have a triangle of a platform and two different platforms where one is integrating features from one platform and also a new AI tool which you didn't have before, that would be quite success. And if you could make it like a triangle that another platform uses an AI feature and make it like a mix between each other to make to show that the collaboration is possible, integration between different teams to share the products. And after that, we looked into risks and how do we mitigate them. We brought up quite many of them, starting from the top. It's going to require support from both sides to collaborate. So having a stand on how to collaborate and have a few partners already at the start to begin with the proposals, so we have a good starting point and we can be sure that some progress will be made. Another problem would be projects evolve differently, and where we look into starting off by integrating easier but still highly useful features and looking into more of like API endpoints at the start. So we can start getting some tooling and some feeling of how the platform will be usable and how these microservices is going to work with each other. And then there was a highly philosophical discussion, in my opinion, about the parallelism of the tools that are developed. And I feel like this also goes, that can be solved in different ways. One is to, when you look at it as a microservice side of that, and then it already gives us some elevation on that. Another one is that the way we collaborate with each other, the ethos of how do we license our products and how do we share our project is more standardized and have like a clear guidance for each other. Another problem is a lot of work can be done, but the value may not be shared equally. So we ideated on different monetization models to alleviate on that. And final risks where features are not updated, and often when integrations are picked based on when the integrations are like easy, then it means that it may not be updated so often. So we're like, oh, this is a new thing. Oh, this tool we don't have, and this we just make a lot of bunch of microservices. It may not have that same value that somebody who needs that specific feature and also wants to stay at the edge and compete with the other platforms and sources that also offer that feature. Yeah, and technically there we didn't really had the mitigation yet, But from another perspective, the hope is that we have a large enough community where the skills and products are shared, and that kind of creates this mass equilibrium where we kind of pass the competition layer and we are together stronger than these different markets around us, which offer the same or similar features. And final issue, AI is a proprietary for some platforms and are not available for sharing, which creates an uneven competition. So in this case, our tactic would be to have them use Singularity Net Marketplace, and so that we could be consumers of their tool, which will also create revenue for them. With this, we will conclude defining success.